Ever wondered why diesel engines are more fuel efficient than petrol ones? It's all in the mechanics and the science behind it. Engines, the heart of a car, are fascinating pieces of machinery. They convert fuel into motion, making it possible for vehicles to move. There are two main types of engines we'll be exploring today: diesel and petrol. Both have their own unique characteristics and applications, but it's the diesel engine that's often touted for its superior fuel efficiency. Without delving too deeply just yet, this is largely due to the way diesel engines compress air and fuel. They are designed to withstand higher compression, which leads to greater fuel efficiency. In this intriguing world of engines, we'll unpack the intricacies of these two types, dissect their differences, and discover the science that makes diesel engines the fuel-sipping champions that they are. So stick around to find out why diesel engines might just be the more economical choice. Let's start with petrol engines, the more common type found in most vehicles. At its core, a petrol engine operates through a process called internal combustion. This process begins with a mixture of air and fuel being drawn into a cylinder. Then, a piston compresses this mixture and a spark plug ignites it. This ignition causes an explosion, driving the piston back down and turning the crankshaft, which ultimately powers the vehicle. Petrol engines are known for their high speed and power, making them a popular choice for performance vehicles. They can rev high and provide that instant acceleration we often crave. However, they do have a downside. Petrol engines are not the most fuel efficient. They use more fuel and produce more carbon dioxide emissions than their diesel counterparts. So that's the petrol engine, high speed, high power, but not so fuel efficient. But what about diesel engines? Moving on to diesel engines, the heavy-duty powerhouses. Diesel engines are a marvel of engineering, working a bit differently than their petrol counterparts. The key difference lies in the process of ignition. In a diesel engine, air is compressed first and then the fuel is injected. This is what we call compression ignition. In simpler terms, imagine squeezing a sponge until it's as small as possible. That's what happens to the air in a diesel engine. It's compressed until it becomes incredibly hot. Then, as soon as the diesel fuel enters the scene, it spontaneously ignites due to the high temperature. This results in a powerful explosion that drives the engine. Now, you might be wondering why diesel engines are considered more fuel efficient. Well, this is largely due to the fact that they use the heat of compressed air to ignite the fuel, rather than relying on spark plugs like a petrol engine. This process allows diesel engines to extract more energy from each drop of fuel, making them a more efficient choice. However, every rose has its thorn. This high compression leads to more noise and less speed. Diesel engines are typically louder and slower than their petrol counterparts, but for many, the trade-off for better fuel efficiency is well worth it. In summary, diesel engines, with their unique compression ignition, offer greater fuel efficiency at the cost of speed and noise. Now that we understand how both engines work, let's compare them. Petrol and diesel engines, while similar in many ways, have key differences that can significantly impact their performance and your driving experience. Firstly, diesel engines are renowned for their fuel efficiency. They extract more energy from a given amount of fuel compared to their petrol counterparts. This means fewer trips to the fuel station and more money in your pocket over the long run. In terms of speed and power, petrol engines take the cake. They are typically faster and more powerful, providing a zippier and more exhilarating drive. If you're a speed enthusiast or often find yourself on highways, a petrol engine might be your cup of tea, but power is not a one-sided story. Diesel engines, while slower, deliver more torque. This makes them ideal for heavy load tasks and uphill climbs. Noise levels is another aspect where these engines differ. Diesel engines are generally noisier, which might be a factor to consider if you prefer a quieter ride. So what's the takeaway here? Well, if you're after fuel efficiency and durability, diesel engines hold the edge. But if speed, power, and a quieter ride are your priorities, petrol engines may be the way to go. So whether you should go for a petrol or diesel engine really depends on what you value more: speed and power, or fuel efficiency and durability.